drinking in that cup?
Iced coffee. A little shot of almond milk.
Did you make it or did you pick it up?
I made it. Make it every morning.
So you just brew hot coffee and put ice on it?
Well, my brewer's it's multi-dimensional.
Oh, wow.
You see, it's got this button that says brew over ice.
He's a barista.
And although it doesn't come out cold, it does come out a bit colder so that you can brew it over ice. And then I got it in this nice Yeti here because it helps keep it cold for longer.
When do you switch over to iced coffee? Like April?
I'd say when it gets to like 76, 77 degrees. That's when I do it.
High temperature? Average?
High temperature for the day. Right in here.
Sometimes
right,
you gotta get those out.
Right now here in Nashville, it's the high temp today is 97.
Wow.
With a swift kick of humidity right in the old ass.
It's so thick air.
In the morning, I mean, our typical lows right now are 75.
Thick air.
76, 77.
Some Lizzo air.
Yeah, that Lizzo air, baby. Got that ass clapping back and forth.
I wasn't going to go there, but I just...
But we
that's
did.
Fine. That's fine.
It's one of the airlines, the coffee. You know, I'm almost like, listen. That's just cubes in there now.
I hear that. That's why I asked originally.
You know what else? You know what else I started doing?
What?
I bought myself a hydrogen water bottle, and I've been sucking down the hydrogen like it's my shop.
Taking after your boy. Did you fix that thing? You said it was smelling like
Dude, I think it was just the initial.
Yeah, you gotta rinse it out.
Well, I rinsed it, and I did a couple. I let it go through a couple cycles, and probably after the third or fourth cycle, I started drinking it and not getting high. You know, before I was sucking down just straight hydrogen to the dome. It was like sucking on helium. Like I started talking higher. I would drink a little water. I'd be like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like, this is not how this is supposed to work. This is not how Gary Brecka designed it. But now I'm drinking straight hydrogen water. And I love clicking on that little button and watching it turn blue and the bubbles just...
It's really nice.
It is.
So I said originally, it feels like you're doing a science project.
And you're getting healthy, drinking water.
And you're drinking it.
You know, I don't know how much it actually works.
I feel like you're like, kind of feels like you're like the Nutty Professor a little bit. Your Buddy Love.
Yeah, Buddy Love. Drinking
that youth juice.
No, he was, yeah, his was to make him skinny, obviously.
Yeah, like young and skinny, I think.
Yeah.
Brings you back your energy and youth.
Brings you back your mojo. It gives you that a little boost of testosterone, so you can get your little man all excited. Ain't no two ways about it.
The Moj.
I mean, that hydrogen water, you know, you like, I got some questions.
So do I.
One being, does it actually work? How do they know? I mean, they've obviously, you know, done studies and stuff like that. But you with this new stuff coming out, you always revert back to, well,
is it bullshit?
And people drank water for a long time so far. And that was pretty good for you, depending on, you know, your source, I guess. But why, you know, is the hydrogen, is the extra hydrogen really necessary?
Well, sorry, I'm looking something up.
Well, look it up, man. You're the research guy. Two.
The internet's
No,
the
go ahead.
internet is no, the internet is asking these same questions. So
Two. My
that
second question. My second question is, when you pump that thing with hydrogen, okay, and you open the cap, now air molecules are going inside, okay? So, does the hydrogen, does it come out? Does it evaporate? Does it come out of the water? Or does it stay in there forever?
that's a good point.
Like, I got this water bottle right here, okay, this white one, and I filled that up with hydrogen water. Took a couple sessions. It's big. It's a big bottle. But my question is, this lasts me typically a couple hours. Is the water still hydrogenated?
Yeah, how long? Yeah, you're right. How long does
I mean,
it?
because if it's pumping it in there, then you open the cap. What does it all mean? I don't
See,
know.
a lot of the stuff on the internet is saying like hydrogen water may do this. It may do that. I'm like, well, I don't want to know if it may do that because
That's what I was reading too, and I don't like that.
chocolate may reduce your risk of a heart attack too. And
Beans might make you fart.
beans may make you fart.
Cheese could plug up your asshole.
Bananas may make you feel like shit.
Yeah. I don't like eating bananas. They give me agita sometimes on an empty stomach.
Mine does too. Probably something to do with your blood type. But
So
I just don't want to know the may. Okay.
that's
you could literally say that for anything. You could say it for anything.
And they're selling these water bottles for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, some of them are a couple hundred.
Yeah. And that's what I was reading. That's why I asked you if yours had an odor, because I was reading, because mine, like, it wasn't it almost just tasted like a little hint of like pool water.
Yeah, chlorine.
And I was reading on some of them that like make sure your hydrogen water doesn't like fill it with chlorine, and I'm like, where would these people get that from? Out of making it like
I have no idea.
a hydrogen water bottle. Like, why would you be like, oh yeah, we can't make this into hydrogen, but we're just gonna toss some chlorine in there and evap that into the water?
It's got to be something that the little device is just making. But these people with the $200 bottles have to tell you not to buy the $50 bottle because they wouldn't sell any. So they have to figure out why. Why do we tell them not to buy the $20 or the $50 bottle?
Let's scare the shit out of them.
Yeah, there's got to be something in it that's super harmful. Otherwise, there's no justification for spending $150 less. Or more, I should say.
On a freaking water bottle.
Yeah, it's all of it. They literally say may improve athletic performance, may reduce inflammation, may improve metabolic health.
Because, and I was reading, because a lot of the studies, or most of the studies that they did showed benefits. But that's a relative term compared to like it actually doing shit. Like, okay, I get in a cold plunge, or I take a cold shower, I have some sort of cold exposure every day. I know that's gonna lessen inflammation. I know that's gonna, it can boost testosterone and it whatever. Like, there's that's proven, I guess. But these hydrogen water bottles, I just don't think they've been out long enough to like really actually make, solid assumptions per se.
Well,
Or maybe not even assumptions.
to
Just tell
answer
you.
one of your questions, this does say hydrogen water is volatile and should be used immediately after pouring. Hydrogen will evaporate from an open container
Okay.
of water within 1 to 2 hours.
Okay.
So
Well,
you
that's
can
good to know. So
I
I
bet
could
in those
put it in this bottle and be fine.
in the hydrogen, yeah, in that one or the hydrogen water bottle, you're probably fine. It said it can be stored in the fridge for several days in a stainless thermos flask without an air chamber. If there's an air chamber in it, you are screwed.
If there's any air ventilation, that hydrogen is going to seep right out the backside. And you're not going to get any of the benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Do you sound good in your headphones?
I do.
Okay.
Why do I not to you?
You sound like you're in a room. I can hear everything around you in my headphones.
Like, what do you mean?
It sounds like you're in a. It doesn't sound like I'm talking to you on the radio.
That's weird.
I can
Is
hear
that better?
I can hear your chair. I can hear everything. It sounds like it sounds like you're echoing around the walls.
You know why? Hold on.
You got that Omni mic on?
No. No, I don't. But I did make a slight change to the preferences because when I was on OBX, now see if that works. Fuck, man. Was this all recording? Was this all recording? Can you hear me better now? Any better?
Maybe a little better. It kind of sounds the same.
Test. The
fuck? Maybe it's recording fine. I just wondered.
I hope it is. Lord help us. I hope it is. Anyway.
Anyhow, I was going to ask you too, if you're sometimes when you're working throughout the day, like eating is hard because number one, you just don't want to stop doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's just, do you like food prices are high, whether you go buy it or buy it at the grocery store. Obviously, it's cheaper if you buy it at the grocery store, but do you have time to go make it? What are you going to make?
Yeah.
These are the questions that you have to ask yourself throughout the day. It probably depends on your work environment also, but what's your go-to thing for let's say for lunch in the middle of your workday? Like, are you snacking throughout the day, or are you like, all right, I got to stop and go make a meal, go get something? What are you doing?
I mean, yeah, it's tough. Like I hate interrupting the workflow. Hate it. Because a lot of what I'm doing throughout the day is creative. Like you get in a zone and you're flowing creatively. Yeah. So it's tough to pick a stopping point, which is kind of good and it's kind of bad because of this situation right here. You got to eat. And in order to be creative, in order to flow, to the best of your flowing ability, you need brain power. You need food, you need water, you need brain. Yeah, you need brain power. So, a couple things I've done to help this, because I mean, you try and stop, and then you go make something, and then all of a sudden you got to make, it takes 20 minutes to make something, and then it takes another whatever to eat it, and then you got to maybe clean up after it, and it's like, before you know it, you're 45 minutes down the road, and you're like, it's halfway to dinner time already.
Yep.
So a lot of times, Kelly and I, when we cook the night before, we make enough food to have, for leftovers the next day, at least for one lunch. That helps.
Definitely.
The other thing I've been doing is I get the chicken of the sea tuna, throw that in a bowl like early in the week, and I'll throw like some celery. I mean, you could put whatever vegetables you want in there, like make a little tuna salad. And then that's packed with protein, and then I'll throw a piece of toast or 2 pieces of toast in the toaster and just do like a little open face tuna with hot sauce on it. Simple, easy, good for you, high in protein. Eat a couple of them bad boys and you're ready to go. It's not the best.
It's not bomb, yeah.
No, it's not like orally stimulating, yeah, but it's fine. You learn to love it. Ultimately, like, I've been kind of shifting my focus. Like, I love food, and like on the weekends and stuff, we'll go and we'll do like whatever. Like Sunday, we didn't know what we wanted to do to cook. We had a pretty solid week, eating wise, like healthy. We're like, fuck it, let's go to fucking Cane's. And we just rocked out. I got a Caniac, dude. Three sauces, just crushed. Cane's on Sunday. You gotta have those days. You gotta have those every once in a while. But I also have been trying to focus on eating for my body as opposed to eating for my pleasure. That matters. Been trying to pack on the protein, just fucking Hanes that shit.
You gotta have protein, especially if you're exercising, and you just gotta,
Anything,
I agree
anything though, like you gotta find a simple way to get like proteins that aren't from like a protein shake or some supplemental bullshit. Like, that's fine for a Band-Aid throughout the day, or yeah, exactly.
That's what it is.
Something more.
It's not a replacement.
But you've got to get proteins from meat, chicken, fish, beans,
peanuts,
eggs,
nuts.
Whatever.
I mean, nuts are great to eat throughout the day. They're high in fat, good fat, and protein.
Yeah. I mean, that's why, honestly, like, this year more than ever, I've realized the effect that a light freezer haul in the fall can have. Because I mean, we're done. Like, we're out of venison. We have some sausage left, but I don't know. We'll cook it in different things, but it's not like my favorite venison. Just like a pure friggin' strap on the grill or something. So yeah, it's hard. The other thing, I think we talked about this on here before, but for breakfast is the overnight oats. Once again, it's ready when you get up. Protein, give yourself a little boost in the morning. And I haven't done that as much as I should recently, but that keeps me going through noon, 1 o'clock pretty solidly.
Right.
But I mean, it's not easy. What do you do? I mean, you're on the road a lot, and that's not easy.
Yeah, I am.
It can be easy to just go into McDonald's or whatever and just getting shit. And
no, but I can't do that because I feel like I just don't feel good.
Dude, it's crazy how much that food, how much food period affects you.
Yeah, not like I don't feel good, like my my stomach's upset. Like, no, obviously
you're just not energized.
Tastes great, but no, I'm not, like, I just feel like
you don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
you just want to sit on the couch and be a fucking slum.
Yeah. But I honestly, we do the we cook a lot, and I do the make more for dinner, and
Yeah,
we
you
make
got to.
healthy meals, and then I just have the go to Costco and get them black to go containers like you get from like a Yours Truly or something.
Yeah,
And I just pack. I literally just pack like a cooler.
you got
And
to.
I
I
do
mean,
not eat. It's crazy. I do not eat on the road. Like as far as like a fast food or anything
yeah,
like that. The only thing I've done or will do, because I love the grocery store. This grocery store is, and I haven't even done this super frequently. I did do it last week, but go to Wegmans. I will go to Wegmans and grab like either a sub,
yeah.
something
Well,
like
that's not bad.
something, or they have like sometimes they have like the 4 packs. Like if I'm going to camp to work for the day, I'll just go grab like a 4 pack of their subs or something. They're good, whatever sub you want, and I'll just literally have them in the fridge for the day. I'll pound like literally 4 of them. I'll
All
just work a couple hours, go pound. They're like 6-inch halves. Go pound a half. Work a little bit, half. I'll do something like that and grab something quick and go. But it's not gonna be fast food. Or same thing with Costco's got pretty good
ready-made.
ready-made stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So
Actually,
occasionally I'll do that, but yeah, honestly, a lot of it is literally it's leftovers from the what do we make for a meal and package it up, or I'll just even if it's not necessarily for dinner, I'll make something that I can eat the following day
right. Make a
throughout the
bulk.
day, so I know like it's planned out. Because if I'm if I go to if I'm on the road, go to New York, if I'm going to work at Hogan's or whatever, I don't want to think about that. Like if I just leave and I need to have like a plan for what
You
I'm
got to have
eating
a
throughout the
plan.
day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm stressed out and I'm like, shit, I'm gonna have to stop somewhere quick, get this, and then I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So what am I
Well, it
doing?
takes once again. It doesn't matter if you're on the road, if you're sitting by a computer, editing, whatever. Like you're, it takes you out of the flow. Takes you out of the flow of your
Yeah,
day, and
yeah.
just the thought of thinking of what am I going to eat, and then having to go get it
Where am
and
I
or
gonna get it?
prepare it, or
What
just go get it, even if it's fast food.
and when am I gonna do it? Yeah,
Right. Even and all that takes time and effort, and like there's just not enough of it in the day. Like if you're doing
no,
shit, there's just not enough of it in the day to be fucking around.
not enough time of the day, especially when you're on the traveling like that, spending a couple hours in the car, and yeah, then it really limits the time. If I was going to stop somewhere to grab something, I'd probably do Chipotle. But in recent years, I've been doing that a lot less. Shit, I used to be a once a weeker for sure,
Yeah.
at Chipotle.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before, but it's gone steadily,
It's not, yeah, it's not
unfortunately,
the
gone
same. I
downhill.
probably would still be fairly frequently if it was consistently better, but it's just not.
No, it's not. I mean,
Occasionally, I probably eat it once every. It's less than once a month now. I do. It's probably once every 2 months.
if you get it around lunchtime, when the day is flowing,
Yeah, you're gonna get it.
it's
Yeah,
it's
the place is
better.
clean.
It's better. Yeah. Well,
The
yeah.
food's fresh. Yeah, if you go, and this is my mistake because I've the last handful of times I'll do this is normally like if Elaine and I are just busy and we don't have like whatever she's working till 8. I have like a basketball game. I'm not gonna be home till 9. I'm like, what the hell? Don't
Yeah.
have
What are we
time
gonna
to
do?
cook. So occasionally it'll be a random night like that where I'm like, I'll pick up Chipotle, and unfortunately it's at like 9 o'clock at night, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's the counter. It looks like you put tannerite in the freaking corn salsa, and someone shot it, and then everything around it just exploded.
Tanner. right in the fucking
Because it
corn
is a
sauce.
mess in there, dude. You walk in, it like you don't even have to talk to anybody, or you just look at the counter. Like that's your judge. If you
Oh
look at
yeah,
the counter and
nobody
it
has to
looks
say a
like
word.
there's an explosion of food, you're gonna be like, this is gonna be
When
questionable.
when your burrito is acting as the snowplow through the rice,
And sour
beans,
cream.
chicken, picked up a little sour cream. Up there's a corn kernel right
Oh
there.
my god.
Up we got to the lettuce, and we're just gonna finish it off with a little bit of guac.
Oh yeah. And we're,
What the shit?
we are out of guac, or we're out of the vinaigrette, or we're out of chicken, whatever. Something's gonna be. They're gonna be out of something.
Oh
Chips
yeah,
at that time of the day.
rice,
The
dude.
the the
But then
soft.
you'll go in there at 9:30, and they literally are dumping a brand new thing of chicken into the chicken. I'm like, who's eating? Who's eating this chicken?
Who's coming in?
Who's
Well,
coming? Nobody's here right now, and it's a half hour before close.
yeah, and I don't know if your Chipotle's did this, but ours, every Chipotle in Cleveland recently went to open till 11. I don't know if
Really?
yours do that. All of ours are open till 11 now, p.m. Yeah,
Wow.
which is nice, but it's nice if the food stays nice until that time. Gosh, because some people,
They're
if
trying
you're like,
anything
shit,
because
I
they're
got
losing.
no, yeah, if I had nothing, no options, I'm like, man, if I could go get a hot, fresh burrito, like
At 10, be fantastic.
the last couple I've had were like when you pick the burrito up, the burrito's hot to hold, and I'm like, man, this is what I fell in love with 15 years ago. But sometimes it's just not there, and you're like, man, I'm chewing on the friggin' rice like it's kitty litter. Like, what is this? Did you not cook this? Did you not cook it or something? Like, what's
That's when
going
you're
on?
gonna get a tummy ache because that stuff is gonna expand eventually, and it's probably gonna be in your
That's
tummy.
unacceptable. That's at minimum, the rice, like, it needs to be rice. Nice, fluffy,
How hard is it?
moist rice.
If you're not foreshadowing or forecasting, I should say, the need for rice, and you got to rush that shit to where you're pulling it early, and it's still got some
Yeah,
density to it,
I don't
like
know.
hard.
That's
Come on,
There should be a system within Chipotle that makes that impossible to
happen.
mess up. Like, it goes in this cooker, and like, do not touch it until ding, the 10-minute timer comes off,
Dude,
and it's cooked. Like, don't touch it.
Even outside of the cooker, like rice is so simple. You could literally just keep pouring water on rice and it's going to absorb it. So
Yeah, I
even
know.
if it's a little like undercooked per se, if it's in the little metal containers that they got, it's there's like hot water under it,
Yeah.
like they put those things in the little slits. There's warm something under it to keep it warm. If there's any sort of water in those things, it's gonna almost still cook itself in there. But what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that'll ruin it. That will ruin it. I'm like, damn, it doesn't matter how good the chicken is or anything after this. If the rice is crunchy, it
Terrible.
literally, sometimes it reminds me of, I've had several burritos like this where I'm like, alfalfa. You know, an alfalfa, when they put the kitty litter in the peanut butter and jelly or
Yeah,
whatever it is, or whatever sandwich it is,
yeah.
and you can hear Frogman chewing on that thing like it's.
Dude, if my burrito has hard rice in it, I literally want to crow hop John Elway that thing right over the fucking glass and just shatter it in the back somewhere and make it
I mean,
known that
it
that is just completely and deliberately wrong.
unacceptable
That's
because
the base of your
there's
shit, and you're getting it wrong.
yeah, you could have a weak burrito, like maybe the chicken's not super hot, and
Warm.
you're still like limping through it, like, okay, it's still Chipotle, it's decent, it's not but the bad, uncooked rice, you're done from the
It's
start.
like building a house with wet foundation. What are you
Yeah.
doing? That thing's gonna fall eventually. What are
My
you
goodness.
doing?
That's
ridiculous.
That is horrid. Gives me nightmares.
That is ridiculous.
Gives me nightmares.
I was gonna ask you, kind of switching gears on us. Ugh. Ohio, there's like I don't know if it's a petition or something. It's talking about out-of-state hunters, and basically, I don't know, it's not outlawing, you're never going to be able to outlaw out-of-state hunters, but like it's basically saying that out-of-state hunters are the reason for the decline, I guess, of Ohio's big bucks or Ohio. I mean, I don't know how Ohio is having a decline in big bucks. There's 200-inch deer shot every year. But you know, the land prices and like basically how out-of-state hunters are ruining Ohio hunting.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get your feedback.
So, my camera just died and this other battery is not working. I don't know why. So
That's all right. Well, we'll just finish it out like this.
So, I'm obviously we're out-of-state hunters in many states. So, I'm for out-of-state hunting. I do think that this Ohio's I don't want to say it's getting ruined, but there's definitely future problems happening because of it. And I don't think it's the out-of-staters' fault. It's the state's fault. Do something about it.
About it.
The licenses, number one, are too cheap for non-residents.
Yeah.
That
I will agree with for sure.
And
it's just too easy.
It's too easy to get them. There's no limit at any point. There's no like go to apply. There's no reason why. I know not as many people are probably going there, but look at Kansas. Any state that's got popularity of hunting, just regulate it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because anybody can come here and then you throw the baiting onto it, which I'm fine with that also, but it's a number one target state for any out-of-state hunter that wants a lease. So
well, that and any out-of-state hunter that can't spend a lot of time, you know, scouting, preparing property, doing a lot.
Yeah, but anybody, like the lease pool, the lease demand, Ohio is wide open to it. So you get the most amount of people that are going to look at Ohio because they know they can get a tag and they can bait. So you have the option to do both. So
yeah.
There's no one shying away from Ohio. Like Kansas, you got to apply. You got to go get that tag. So you're not a lot of times people have to risk just locking up a lease anyway because they don't necessarily know. But that's going to push some people away. Same thing with an Iowa or
yeah. I mean, Illinois, the tags
they're expensive.
Astronomically expensive for
so
sure.
You are at least thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like North Dakota, yes, you can go there to bow hunt. You can't rifle hunt there if you're a non-resident. You can if you win the lottery and get the tag. So you just there's always something that's shying you away from it a little bit. Ohio is just so cheap, and so I agree that they do need to do something about it because the land prices in Ohio and the lease pricing in Ohio it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and if that, if that is the sole focus, then I think I personally think the residents of Ohio need to look themselves in the mirror also. Number one, like if you look at all these different states that we're comparing this to, Kansas, Iowa, I mean, shit, even Kentucky. Kentucky's an open state. Kentucky, you can bait all year long, but how many how many more residents are in Ohio compared to any of those states? Number one. Okay. So right off the bat, take out all the non-resident hunters. You already are you I guarantee you've got more hunters in Ohio than you do Kentucky, Kansas, and or Iowa,
Yeah, I
resident
mean we have
wise.
bigger cities, couple
Yeah.
big cities,
Yeah. So
handful of big cities.
it's far more populated.
Yeah.
The season is way too long in Ohio.
Yeah.
Way too long.
I agree with that.
Way too fucking long. There is no reason the season needs to be from the end of September through January and into February. There's just no reason for it.
No.
Absolutely no reason for it.
I don't mind mid January, but to February is ridiculous. Like half the bucks they're all dropping.
They're dropping. People are shed hunting before Ohio's season is even over with yet. It just it doesn't make any sense. To me, the crossbow baiting combination needs shaken up in some way, shape, or form. Once again, a 4.5 month season, you can stick a corn pile out, you can sit in the fucking ground blind, and you can prop your crossbow up and let it rip. Anybody.
Yeah.
So, like, some of that stuff also needs to get ironed out outside of just, the non-residents are the issue. You know what I mean? Like
why I don't think that. Yeah, it's not the non-residents; it's the state.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want about it. Do something about it. If there's problems,
right?
But
to point the fingers at the non-residents and just, I mean, because that's kind of what I'm seeing online is like, and I saw there, I don't know, there was a podcast, somebody had a podcast, something like that, and I'm with you. Like, I think the Ohio's missing the boat on profiting more and giving and in turn giving back more to the wildlife in charging, and they need to charge more for tags, and they need to.
What is a non-resident tag? I don't even know.
Dude, I don't know either.
I know it was. I know it wasn't anywhere near what we pay in other states. That's why.
No,
I said that.
no. Dude, it used to. I think it used to be like $110, $130 maybe.
Yeah. What is it, like 170 now?
And then the tag, I think, is 70.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're whatever, 230, 240 or something like that. But I just think that Ohio is losing out in that aspect. They've got a commodity. I mean, it's like we talk about with Parker in Kansas, but they're making good on it. And Ohio isn't necessarily.
It's $180 for a non-resident 1-year hunting license.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's really not that bad. So it's
still not enough. It's not enough. I mean, for this,
250 total with a tag.
Yeah.
With a tag, yeah.
I mean, and freaking we're going to Kansas. We have to draw.
Yeah.
And it's what is it?
$5 for $600.
Yeah, like compare that to $180.
Right. Yeah, I know.
That's
and just
way different.
And
like
just
you go here for 3 years and hunt for that's not enough.
Well, and two, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of there's poaching goes on everywhere, but it seems like, and maybe it's because we're from Ohio, so it's more like relevant to us, but it seems like a lot of these big deer get poached in Ohio. Like these big record book deer get shellacked in Ohio.
Yeah, I think. And when you say poached, I don't think people are doing it from like a vehicle.
No, right, no.
But when you when you allow baiting, yeah, I just think that especially with crossbow being through all year
Yeah.
long. I've personally no, I don't think I've ever hunted with a crossbow, but so I don't want to like take away from that weapon because there are people that it's hard for them to pull a bow back. All that stuff, I get it. I do agree. I think there should be at least a season for that. And I don't think it necessarily should be like super short, but I do think that straight up compound bow hunters should get a season if they're going to hunt for that, unless you have like a doctor's whatever. But
yeah.
But going back to it, the baiting and crossbow all year does allow for a lot of like I can't imagine how many people are shooting deer after dark on their bait pile with a crossbow because you can do it and nobody would know.
Or at least after quote unquote legal hours.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying but either way.
I mean, shit. When the season was only until literally sunset up in New York with rifles, the majority of the shooting was
people didn't
literally care. After legal shooting hours.
Yeah,
the majority around us for sure.
Yeah, and the last like I would say the last 5 to 10 years of it got clamped down a little bit, but
a little bit. I mean,
but still, at least
those were tough hours to give to hunters for sure. Like sunrise to sunset, you're missing an hour. The half hour before and the half hour after the sun comes up or goes down. Like those are your that's your most active hour of the day, or 2 most active segments of the day. So naturally, and you could still see. So you're going to have the guys that are like, hey, my property, I pay the taxes on it, my rules, I'm going to do it the hell I want.
It's definitely a dumb law if you're not going to enforce it, because New York didn't.
No, exactly.
So,
but getting back to Ohio, when you can bait and then you can use a crossbow, I mean, if there's snow on the ground and you got a red dot or something on your, like a red dot scope or something on your crossbow, like, I mean,
that's going on.
Absolutely.
People that don't film and they don't give a shit, that is 100% going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely, especially in this day and age, in this hunting world. That is,
you can say people could do that with a compound too, but when it's dark, try to pull your bow back and look through your peep sight.
Dude, you're not doing
at a non-lighted pin. You can't see. Like,
no,
you can't.
No. You're looking. The difference is you're looking through a peep sight and then through a sight. You have very little chance of that actually
dark, you're done. You're done.
Of that actually working. But if you have a red dot on a
open sight, both eyes
open, open scope, and it's how much closer to your eyes, and you can see that red dot, and also you can see a silhouette or something else, whatever. Like, I don't know. That just
and what do you do?
Ohio's doing it to themselves.
Yeah, like what do you? I've thought about this too. What do you do about that? Because, nobody, there's nobody's gonna.
It's an honor system at that point. It's an honor system, just like, I mean, essentially the whole tagging system is an honor system at this point too. It is. You don't have to take your deer anywhere and show somebody. You don't even have to take a picture of it. Like,
no, just
tell us
what it was.
That's so asinine to me. We've got this technology that, we can get our license online, we can buy our tags online, we can tag the deer online, but don't take a picture of it don't actually have to be honorable and upload it or whatever. Like, we're just going to take all your guys' word for it because everybody's been so truthful up until this point.
Yeah. Some of the
that is ridiculous.
I'm sure it's different in some of the different provinces, but like in Canada, if you shoot in certain areas, if you shoot like a mule deer or whatever, you have to take a photo of it where it died, and they have the Jeep. Your phone.
There you go.
Your phone records the GPS. They have to it gets uploaded that way, and they see exactly where you shot it.
There you go. Problem solved.
Because I was talking to a guy that was telling me a story that one of his buddy, I don't even know what it was, but had trouble with something because they got the animal out to like the main road and then took the photo.
They were like, shit.
And it didn't line up, how it was. But yeah, it's so simple to do that. I hear people in New York talking all the time that are like, oh, I can't remember the last deer I've actually called in. Like they'll tag it, but nobody knows.
Yeah. And also dumbass. Like, that is for a reason.
Yeah, you're shooting yourself. You're shooting conservation in the foot.
That goes into effect on how they calculate the deer numbers, what's been killed, what is okay for bag limits and stuff the next year. Like, you're doing it. Like, it's your fucking fault. And that's where I go back to Ohio. And it's the same thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna make my own paper tag. My own paper tag. That's how you tag your freaking deer now. Like, come on. And then it's an honor system to call it in. Yo, make somebody take a freaking picture of the animal. Like you said, it's all GPS coordinated right there. Take a picture of it. It's cut and dry.
I mean, at least with Ohio, they have a short time frame that you have to check it in or call. You have to
what is it? 24 hours.
And they give you a confirmation number that you do. I think that does go on the animal after the fact. So it's like New York. It's a free for all. New York's
7 days.
Take 7 days. Pick 7 days.
7 days.
And then nothing happens. We don't give you shit after you call it in. We just say thank you.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna.
You could submit your kill 7 months later, and the New York Game and Fish app would say thank you for your submission.
Yeah, no, I know it's
100%. And you could easily do that.
Trust me, I would rather people do that than not do it at all.
Oh, 100%,
100%. Because you want the state to actually know the deer numbers, but I just don't even think the state knows. I don't think they don't know what to do with the deer numbers. Like, there's anybody that's, I don't want to say educated enough, but there's not anybody that they don't care about hunting in New York. If they do, they care about the friggin', it's just shoot deer and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it also, it's New York, it's Ohio too. Like, for Ohio, it's like, hey, maybe somebody that's making these decisions or that can put these bills or laws like up for voting and stuff, maybe you should sit out there and observe a little bit. Maybe go to a couple different parts of the state and just observe and see what's going on, because that matters too.
It does.
Like, that matters too. But certainly tightening up just the way that things have to be submitted, the way that things are like kept track of and all that stuff. Like, come on.
I love I get it. I love the convenience of not having to do it, but taking your deer somewhere like in Ohio to actually check it in, and your buck ain't legit until you have a band on it. Right. So you can't show that thing to anybody. Like, you can't parade it around. You can't do nothing unless that thing's got a band on it.
Right.
So it's legit.
Right.
That doesn't
mean it's the same thing.
That doesn't mean that doesn't mean the person didn't. At least the deer was tagged and checked, is my point. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean they didn't poach it necessarily, but at least it's checked.
I mean, you don't have to take it to a check station in North Dakota, but you got to wrap that tag around it. Right when you get, like, before you move the animal, you've got to wrap the tag around it. So the photos, everything thereafter that you see, if that thing doesn't have a tag on it, hey, what's going on? When was it tagged? Whatever. but like have some sort of like responsibility, like to take care of the damn animal after the fact. I don't know. But yeah,
You
I
know,
guess I
and
don't know. Getting back to the Ohio thing, yeah, it's just
Ohio's Ohio's saved themselves with the $1.
for sure.
Like if this was not a $1 state, it would be decimated.
Yeah,
It would be horrible. Like, and I still think they need to do other things because I do think the land prices and it's just too easy to get tags here. But thank God they do a $1. I think other states need to do that also,
yeah,
and it would make a huge difference because there's just yeah, especially in New York. I think you could do things to maybe earn another buck tag. I just think that with how many hunters are in New York, residents or not, I just think $2 is too much.
one. And what
Too
is it?
many.
And what is it for? You know, like what is that? What is that second buck for that a doe can't be for?
Give out one extra doe tag and or whatever. Just you don't even have to give out an extra doe tag if you don't want. Just make it a buck or
Right.
make it $1 and
Yeah.
that's it. And this I've been saying this for literally I think 10 years. The easiest adjustment that New York could do to change a ton is when you go and buy a hunting license, say you want a small game license, either way, you go buy a license at an agent in New York. If you're a non-resident, you're gonna pay $100, and you're gonna be able to go small game hunt, whatever. But uh, you're gonna get a deer tag with that. You know?
In New York.
Yeah, like with your hunting license, you get like okay, so just say you're gonna go. Say you just want a deer hunt. I just want a deer license. That's all I want. All you get is a rifled buck tag. I
Right.
think you get a bear. I think you get a bear tag too, but you get a rifle buck tag. Why is that tag not in either sex?
Yeah. That's for yeah. That's
That's
shooting
so
yourself in the
easy.
foot right there.
And what are you doing? Like now, someone that just still they just want to buy their hunting license, and then some people buy it. And they're like, I don't know, I might go out, I might not. But if they go take a walk with their gun, which God bless they can do, they if they decide they want to shoot a deer, it can only have a rack.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
4 point. What it doesn't matter how big it is. It can only have a rack.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Make it easy. Yeah. Well, how easy is that?
So easy to switch that. It's
Make
so
it either
easy
sex.
to
Yeah.
either sex. Now they have. It's beneficial to the hunter. Now they have options, and
Right.
and just because you're giving them that option, you're gonna have. It's not gonna be a crazy amount, but you're gonna have a percentage of less buck shot
Yeah. It's
with
going to
that tag
balance
felt.
for
Yeah.
sure. Think about doing that and only having one buck tag. That would
Oh my gosh.
completely change the game in New York.
It would completely change
Pretty
the game.
quickly too, I bet, because this, especially where we're at, the genetics are insane.
Oh my gosh, like, it's so funny. This guy at the end of last week, he was a hunter. He came into Hogan's. I think he was buying a fishing license or whatever. They were going fishing, but he was looking around at some of the mounts and he was just like, "Man, you guys just the deer don't get big around here, do they?" I'm like, "Actually, they do."
They don't get old.
I'm like, "That's exactly what I said." I'm like, "No one lets them get past 2 to 3 years old." I'm like, "That's why they don't get big." But I'm like, "This is some of the best growing genetics in the country, I think."
Yeah,
Just is. It might be that far western portion of New York. It might get tougher as you go east and get into the mountains.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
That's definitely the case. But where we are at in New York, that very western portion of it is incredible terrain for deer.
Yep.
Incredible habitat. Just need to get age on them. But New York could do that, and what's what they don't realize is you could quickly change the value of your hunting license.
Oh my God, yeah.
Take away a buck. Yeah, some people are going to be like, well, now I'm not going to New York because I can't shoot $2. You're going to have a lot less people saying that than more people saying, well, shit, I'll pay an extra $100
The only
for my
ones
tag.
the only ones that are going to bitch about that is the residents
Yeah, no, that's all
that
it's
don't
going to
get
be.
$2. That's the only one. But there's still, I mean, there's, for whatever reason, New York still attracts a lot of out of state, Ohio, Pennsylvania people
it's
that come in and
because again, it's relatively, it's not
easy.
relatively, it's cheap, it's easy and it's cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
too
if
cheap.
you want, if you just want to, if you're just coming into New York to gun hunt, what is it? 100 and something bucks, 50
dude,
maybe?
you can, as a non-resident, you can get every tag possible, turkey, deer, everything for
Spring.
muzzleloader, archery, rifle for $190. That's ridiculous.
Insane. That's
That's dirt.
crazy.
For that is you can shoot 2 turkey, 5 deer, a bear, and go small game hunting for $190 as a non-resident.
I mean,
you can go to Kansas and shoot 1 deer, and that's it. And then you got to get the hell out for $600.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Think about that. You go to $1 and people would be a lot more willing to come to New York and pay $290 for that same value, which is still cheap for all of that.
Oh, for sure.
And yeah, knowing that, holy shit, this is becoming a big buck state very quickly. It would happen within 2 years.
Yeah, and I mean, it would change quick.
It would
change that very quick.
Yeah, it would change very fast.
Change the world.
Hopefully Ohio does something. I mean, I think, they could also do no baiting, and that would change everything as well.
Yeah, that would change.
Which I would not mind that when you're out in like the hills and rural part of the state.
Yeah,
it's good. Like, it's fine. Ohio's got, so like we just talked about, population's high. So many cities spaced out in the state that there's so much urban areas and land. That's like,
I mean, think about how much that takes away.
Yeah, you have to, yeah, it takes, you're right. Yeah. But that's how the urban hunting is done. If you have 5 acres,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Yeah, you could, of course, yeah, you can go behind your house or you can go back in a 5-acre chunk and sit there, but you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the strategy to hunt. That's what some people just don't get about the baiting aspect of it, is it doesn't need to be used. Like, places like where we're at in New York and all these big, it's not needed. Like, it wouldn't, it's when we go down to Southern Ohio to hunt, we've hunted on bait down there, but you can hunt without it too, and you can be just as effective.
Right.
So, I don't know. That would definitely change as well. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Be interesting to see if they do anything.
Yeah.
Because who knows? They might not do anything. But I also agree that the season is long.
It's too long. And I love the hunt. And I love the hunt. Like, yeah. I mean, I will literally sit there on the first day of the season, and I'll be sitting there on the last day of the season whenever they say that we're allowed to do that for. But
yeah, and they just, the gun seasons are limited, but they're also just too spaced out. Like, just have the shotgun season and be done with it. Don't open it back up 2 weeks later. Right. Like, you're just pressuring the deer in a way that you don't need to. Yeah, and then the muzzleloader season's 2 weeks later. It's like things are the deer are just starting to get kind of calm back down, and then boom, you throw another firearm season in. Like, just stack them or whatever you do, and then be done with it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
Well,
that was good old hour bullshit.
Good old random bullshit.
Good old random bullshit. Well, yeah. Good chatting with you.
Good chatting with you.
TAGNBRAG Nation, thanks for hanging out. As always, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Food Plot Cronies is coming out this week. You. Food Plot Cronies. And also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, a.k.a. Twitter, and TikTok. We'd love to have you joining in on the fun. And somebody drop us a line when you see us. Just say something.
Do it.
You know, we're getting closer to hunting season. Let's get fired up together.
Let's get the juices flowing.
Hashtag make hunt camps great again. Hashtag we will not be denied tour 2024. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, we'll see you next Wednesday.
Peace be with you.